The given graph gives information about percentage of volunteering job. It compares between a formal volunteering job and informal volunteering job. On the x-axis provide information about the male and the female. On the y-axis gives information about percentage. We start from 0 and end at 45%. In a formal volunteering job, high ratio is a female which is 30.5% and the male ratio is at 20%. In the informal volunteering job, male ratio is at 25% and the female ratio is too much high is a 40%. To be concluded, the image is about percentage of volunteering job.
The given bar graph provides information about percentage of volunteering job. There are two different categories of volunteering jobs such as formal volunteering job and informal volunteering job, and the data is divided into number of words and colors. If we do comparison between, the maximum value is 40% represented by informal volunteering job in red color and the minimum value is 20% represented by formal volunteering job in green color. From the image, I can see the second highest value is 35% represented by formal volunteering job in red color. Overall, the image provides information about percentage of volunteering job. From the image, I can see male and female. The bar graph provides the information of percentage of volunteering job, informal volunteering job and informal volunteering job. The x-axis gives the information about the percentage levels, whereas the y-axis gives the information about the different percentage from 0 to 45%. Furthermore, the maximum element I can see in the male is around the 15%, whereas the minimum I can see is for the females is the 25%. However, the second highest would be the 40% by the female in the informal voluntary job. Overall, the paragraph is quite informative.
The bar graph shows the percentage of volunteering job between male and female for two different categories, formal volunteering job and informal volunteering job. In the formal volunteering job, male is having very less, that is 20%, female is having 32%. In conclusion, we can say female is having 32%, which is greater than the male. In the informal volunteering job, female is having 40% and male is having 25%. Female is having highest than the male, which is around 40%. In conclusion, we can say female is having both formal and voluntary informal job highest than the male.
The given bar chart gives information about percentage of volunteering job. There are two characters in the image: formal volunteering job and informal volunteering job. Formal volunteering job for male, which is around 20%, 30% for female in formal voluntary job, and the 25% for male in the informal voluntary job. Next is female in for informal voluntary job, which is about 40%. The highest number of data informal voluntary job and lowest number data is formal voluntary job. Overall, the given image is very informative and regarding percentage of voluntary job.
Here the picture shows a colorful graph of the percentage of volunteering jobs. We can find two colors on the graph which indicates male and female. The green color indicates male and the red color indicates as females. We can find the percentage of 0% to 45%. Here, the graphs shows the information by percentage of formal volunteering jobs and informal volunteering jobs. You can find male as 20% and female up to 30%. And on the other side, you can find male as 25% and the female as 40%.
The given graph gives information about percentage of volunteering job. It is compares between a formal volunteering job and the informal volunteering jobs. On the x-axis show a data about the male and female. On the y-axis it show information about the percentage. We start from 0 and end at 45%. On the formal volunteering jobs, male ratio is little bit low and the female ratio is at 35%. On the informal volunteer job, it's the same one. Female ratio is a 40% and the male ratio is a 25%. To be conclude, the image is about percentage of volunteering job.
Formal volunteering, which is the picture provided is a bar graph which depicts the percentage of the formal and informal volunteering job. It is the x-axis lists the different genders such as male and female, while the y-axis represents the percentages of the volunteering jobs ranging from 0% to the 45%. As the for informal volunteering job of the female have the maximum percentage of the volunteering job, which is more than 14%. Conversely, the male have the formal volunteering job, which is the maximum, which is less than a 20%. The data is valuable for the percentage of volunteering job and highly effective.
These bar charts compare the percentage of different kind of voluntary job, namely informally and formal ones, against two different genders. In general, there are more females participating in volunteer job. For example, there are 40% of them doing the informally and 30% of them doing formally. While comparing against their male counterparts, this figure has been a lot less. For example, for males, there are only 25% of them doing informal volunteer job and 20% of them doing formal volunteer job. In conclusion, this bar chart compares the percentage of volunteer job.
The bar graph gives the information about percentage of volunteering job. In the bar graph, x-axis represents different gender like male and female. Overall, one on the other hand, y-axis indicates various percentages such as 5%, 10%, 15%, and 20%. Furthermore, female contribute the highest with 40%, whereas the male is the lowest, followed by 5%, 10%, 15%, and 25%. Overall, the chart is very informative and interesting.
The given bar graph gives information about percentage of volunteering job across male and female categories for informal and formal volunteering jobs. From the bar graph, it is evident that informal volunteering jobs have the highest value, where females are exceeding males with 40%, whereas males are only at 25%. Similarly, it can be observed that for formal volunteering jobs, the value of female is higher, which is 31%, whereas males are lower at only 20%. In conclusion, the pie chart shows the percentage of volunteering job is higher among females for involuntary jobs, especially.
The given image is a bar chart which provides information about percentage of volunteering job between male and female. In the given figure, it can be clearly seen that female have the highest percentage of volunteering job, which is 40% for informal volunteering job, whereas male have the lowest for percentage of volunteering job, which is formal volunteering job, which has value of over 20%. Another interesting point is the formal volunteering job for female has a value of 32%, whereas the for informal volunteering job for male is 25 percentage. Overall, the image illustrates percentage of volunteering job for male and female. The given image is a bar chart which provides information about percentage of volunteering job between male and female. If from the given figure, it can be clearly seen that the formal volunteering job for male is 20%, which is the lowest, and for female is 32%. Conversely, the informal volunteering job for male is 25% and for female is 40%, which is highest. Overall, the image illustrates percentage of volunteering job between male and female.
In this picture, we see a comparison of the percentage of volunteering job, informal volunteering job, and informal volunteering job. In the x-axis, we have got male and female, and in the y-axis, we have got percentages starting from 0% to 45%. We see that for both formal volunteering job and informal volunteering job, female have the most number. With informal volunteering job, at female it is 40%, and with female in formal volunteering job is somewhere between 30 and 35%. Numbers are less for male in both cases.
The title of the bar graph is percentage of volunteering job. On x-axis we have male and female, on y-axis we have a percentage. The maximum percentage of formal volunteering job in female is 33% and in male is 20%. The maximum percentage in informal volunteering job in male is 25%. The percentage of female in informal volunteering job is 45%. We have lots of other percentages like a 5%, 10%, 15%, 25%, 30%, 40%, and 45%.